Thank you. And for us to keep Martin Luther King dream alive, we have to think outside of the box. The world is not just here in Harrisburg or in Pennsylvania, so we need to be aware of everything happening around us. As someone who did not grow up in the US, I grew up in Sudan, and this book truly resonate with me. The marching, the protesting, it is still happening all over the world. So I am going to start. Let the children march. 1963, Birmingham, Alabama. I could not play on the same playground as the white kids. I could not go to their schools. I couldn't drink from their water fountains. There were so many things I couldn't do.
One warm spring night, my family went to church. We weren't there to have regular services. We were there to hear Dr. King speak. We were there to plan.
He wanted to raise an army of peaceful protesters to fight for freedom. His brown eyes flashing fire and love, Dr. King told us the time had come to march.
If I march, Mama said, I'll lose my job, sure enough. I can't march, Daddy said. I got a family to feed. The weight of the world rested on our parents' shoulders. But this burden, this time, did not have to be theirs to bear.
I don't have a boss to fear, my brother said, or a job to lose. We can march this time. We will be Dr. King's army, I said. I will be fine, Daddy, I promised. Don't worry, Mama.
Dr. King didn't like children being put in harm's way. He was a daddy too, after all. But he said that though they were young, we were not too young to want our freedom. Let the children march. They will lead the way.
On May 2nd, a sunny Thursday, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, we all met at the church dressed in our best, feet ready, in a silence so loud that all I could hear was my racing heart. We began to walk. Hand in hand we marched, so frightened, yet certain of what was right for freedom. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm gonna walk on.
Would I be hurt? Would we be heard? Would it all be worth it in the end? I wanted to run from the angry faces in the crowd, run from danger and run from fear. Boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, on and on we marched. We marched, we marched. Singing the songs of freedom, 1,000 strong we came.
Hate dogged my heels all that day, its yellowed cannon teeth sharp, but courage walked my side and kept me going. Disperse, or you will be jailed, the police shouted the first day. Disperse, or you will get wet, the police shouted the second day. Dispersed, or we will release the dogs, the police shouted the third day. We did not disperse. We kept on marching. We wouldn't stop until things started to change.
Hundreds of us went to jail on the first day, and even more on the second. My turn wasn't until the third day, after I was sprayed by water stronger than anything I've ever felt. Rough hands pushed me forward, and I fell to my knees in the police wagon. I was going to jail. Dr. King reassured our parents, "Don't worry about your children," he said. "They're going to be all right. Don't hold them back if they want to go to jail, for they are doing a job for not only themselves, but for all of America and for all mankind."
That night, crowded into a cell too small for even half of the kids, we sang, "We shall overcome. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. And freedom is coming." Our parents could not be there with us, but still we sang, wrapped in the proud and loving arms of our ancestors.
I was still in jail, but we heard that the next day and the next, more kids marched. The water hoses they used to sting us could not stop our fierce tide. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm gonna walk on.
Turn the other cheek, we had been taught. Show love where there is hate. The world watched as hate bruised us. But for 7 days we walked only in love. The jail swelled to bursting. And even President Kennedy took notice. Daddy said the president received letters and calls about us from all over the world. Our march would become a memory, a small part of a larger story. But we had been heard, and the seeds of revolution were sown.
2 days and nights I stayed in the jail. Some stayed even longer. When I left, I was tired and sore, and my best dress was ripped. But my smile was as wide as the Mississippi River. I had made a difference. "I'm so proud of you, baby girl," Mama said. "Your march was what made them see. With nothing more than our feet, voices, and courage, we had done what others could not. Change was right around the corner. We felt it like a cool breeze in an Alabama August. On May 10, the great news rang out. Dr. King had reached an agreement with the white leaders of the city. Desegregation would begin."
1 month later, I was playing on a playground I would never been allowed to play on before. 2 months later, my family ate at a dinner we would never been allowed to eat in before. Our march made the difference. We children led the way, singing the songs of freedom. 1,000 strong we came.
The end.
The end.
I do want to say a special thank you to Floyd for putting this together, but also all the other volunteers that it takes to put something like this on. Certainly to the Whitaker Center for providing this beautiful space. This is such a great opportunity for us to honor the legacy of Dr. King as a community, and certainly to ensure that it's passed on to the next generation, the legacy of King. So Floyd and others, thank you for putting this on, and thanks for including both of us. We really appreciate it.
And thank you for you. You're the future. Thank you for listening. Oh.